Alrighty, g'day everybody, it is me, CBP, back again with another video. I pulled out my microphone because I had time to make a video and I was like, right, what's something I can do? And I was going to do another looks rating videos, but I was like, oh man, that's going to take ages to record and edit and everything. What's something that's simple that I can make and edit within a couple of hours? And you know, a really easy format is reacting to other videos and like doing an analysis or, you know, doing a debunking sort of thing. I want to do more of those on my channel because it means I've got more time and everything. I can make more videos, etc., etc. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going out and I'm microphone shopping, and I'm going to build a little studio in my apartment where I can do a kind of Better Bachelor style of video. So, you know, I did a couple of test runs of just me recording myself at home just to see what it would look like, and I thought once I get the microphone and everything, it'll look pretty good. Anyway, let's get to the meat and bones of today's video. Enough rambling. So I'm going to be reacting to a video today, not the entire thing because this video would go on and on and on, but I'm going to take a look at this video that was released, I believe, back at the beginning of 2018, and apparently, I don't know the full story, but this video, a lot of people have reacted to this video, but they've all given what I would perceive to be virtue signaling, blue-pilled takes on it. No one's really reacted to this video with the raw truths that I bring to the table. So I thought I'm going to do a reaction video. But yeah, this video was released in early 2018, and it didn't go viral right away, according to the guy who uploaded it. He said he uploaded it and nothing happened. But a few months later, he said out of nowhere, it just started getting thousands of views per day. And the rest was history, and now it has millions of views. And even to this day, the video is going viral, because I remember just a couple of months ago, I checked this video, and it had 160,000 likes, and now it has over 200,000 likes, so it's gone viral since it went viral. You know, it's really funny, the YouTube algorithm is a strange thing. Like, I'll show you something. This right here, the image that you're seeing right now, this right here is the view count on my most watched video, that video I did on TikTok. Some people said to me who noticed that the video did really, really well within the algorithm, they're like, oh, it's because you put TikTok in the title. And I was like, no, it's not. Most of the views came from browse features. That's when it just shows up in your timeline, like, here's your video today, sir. You know, only a small percentage of the people who watched it actually went searching for a video with TikTok in the title. So, and you look at the view count, you know, it initially just kind of did its thing where it kind of gets, you know, the 1,000 subscribers I had when I released it. I think I had about 1,000 subs when I put out this video. And then it kind of just did its thing for a couple of days. And then it just got picked up by the algorithm. And it would go viral for like a day or two. And then it would kind of fall away. And it would just kind of, you know, go back to normal. And then it would take off again and get, you know, 30,000 new views. And then it would just kind of die away. And then it completely died for a little while. But then it kind of got slowly picked up by the algorithm. And now it's just getting about, you know, 3,000 views per day. You know, it's just kind of creeping along in there and everything. So, you know, the algorithm is weird. But anyway, let's get to the video that I'm reacting to. So this guy who runs a channel that's now called Never Give Up, which I suspect may have been called something different when he first created the channel. He released a video in early 2018 titled Being Ugly, My Experience. And I know that this is kind of a cynical take, but you know, I see a lot of guys who will put the title of his video in the title of their reaction video, and it's obvious that what they're trying to do is leech off of the viral views. It doesn't mean that the video reactions they gave are bad, but it's like you're exploiting some guy's heartfelt story for your own capitalistic desire to grow your channel, you know. And oftentimes the take was kind of virtue signaling. No offense, Bulldog, but was kind of a little bit of virtue signaling, you know. So, you know, I know that we all play the view game and the algorithm game, like I just said, you know. We love it when videos get lots of views, but there's just a little bit of like, it just seems a little bit gross to actually put the guy's title in your video just so you can, you know, when people go searching for it later on, they find your video instead. It's a little bit icky, which is why today I'm not going to be putting his title in my title, because that would be exploitative is the word. It's a very exploitative thing to do. Now, look, I did a community post the other day where I said, look, this channel, the one that you're watching right now, the CBP channel, this is not a black youtube.com/lookspill channel. It's not. It's not here to promote that philosophy that it's over or anything like that. You know, the whole reason why I deleted my previous YouTube channel is because it had too much of that in it. And I decided, look, I don't want to use my creativity on YouTube to promote negativity. I want to not promote positivity, because positivity is a cope. But what I want to do is I want to look at the broad picture and not promote any one colored pill or philosophy. So that's why I created this channel. And I deleted thousands of subs. I was like, nope, sorry, I'm starting again. If you want to join me at the CBP channel, which will be a more kind of productive channel, then please do so. So, you know, I'm not here to be like, oh, he's a sub 5 male. It's over. But there was a lot of virtue signaling in the comments. And I'm going to read those comments. I'm going to scroll down to the comment section, and I'm going to show you each comment one by one. And I'll show you to some of the laughable cope, because every comment is cope. Like, not just some of the comments, all of the comments are just like, oh, bro, you're not even bad looking. You're an 8 out of 10. You know, you're one of the best looking guys on the internet. Like, crazy cope in the comment section. And again, I've told everybody, and again, people will say that this is cope, but it's not. Even the worst looking guys oftentimes find girlfriends eventually. You know, it's over for them if they want to be pickup artists or anything. But if they just want to get a girlfriend at some point in their lives, and, you know, they're willing to not necessarily go after the perfect 10s, you know, if they're willing to just go after someone that they can relate to or whatever, then it is not over for them. It might be over, but it's not by definition over if you're not attractive. You know, it's only over if you're not attractive and you want to be with like a different girl every week and play the field and be like a pickup artist. Then it's over. But, you know, most unattractive guys can inevitably find girlfriends. I've seen it one too many times. And he did find a girlfriend. I mean, granted, she's only a 5 out of 10, but, you know, still got a girlfriend. But yeah, so I first found this video, I believe it was probably about early 2019 when I found this video. I found it in the months before I started making videos. So I found this video before I had either of my YouTube channels. I wasn't really into this type of content when I found the video. And I saw this video by the YouTuber Wounded Viking, and, you know, he made some good points. You know, it was all kind of uplifting encouragement, you know, nothing wrong with that, but, you know, a little bit kind of normie advice, even though he does obviously has his own experience with, you know, being discriminated against because of, you know, the surgery that he's had and everything. But, you know, I haven't seen any videos where they really go over the video and talk about it. So that's what I thought I'd do.
So first of all, this is my microphone. It's quite broken, and I've been drinking a lot of this right now, so I'm sort of drunk.
Now, this is pure speculation, but one of the reasons why this video may have gone viral will have to do with the fact that at the beginning of the video, he makes you want to keep watching the video. You know, he immediately begins by saying that he's drunk, which makes you think, oh, this could be good. So people continue watching the video. And the longer your average watch time is, meaning the more the average duration of the watch time, the more likely it is to get promoted within the algorithm, because the little bot system thinks, well, you know, this video must be really engaging because people are watching the video towards the end rather than just clicking and then leaving.
I should also say, like, this is a warning. My English is not that good, and like, I feel really alone.
A few people pointed out that his command of the English language is actually better than most English-speaking people, and the fact that he's been drinking, and he actually sounds perfectly sober and coherent to me, is actually a testament to the guy.
I feel really alone, and I felt like I was gonna search YouTube for people with the same issue as me, and that is being really unattractive. And I've been having lots of issues with that, because every video I come across is with a really attractive or normal person, and they have no idea how it really is for those. Because I know lots of people on YouTube, they are like looking on these, they're trying to find someone to relate to, and they can't, because every person in the video is a girl, or it's a guy that looks decently all right, like he doesn't have a big nose or big lips or anything. He doesn't. It's always something.
Yeah, he's definitely got a good point here. There's a lot of videos out there with titles like, to anyone feeling ugly, and you click on the video and it's some 7.5 out of 10 girl. So I definitely think that he's got a good point there.
So if you think that I look pretty good right now, it's because I'm doing my absolute best to show you that I look good. It's also the cam. So first of all, I have extremely much loose skin. This is nothing I can do anything about. I've been checking this a lot. I have so much loose skin, it makes me look terrible. I have a big forehead, and my hair is making me look really good. But if you would take away the hair, like, I got pretty bad posture, I have a really big bulky nose, and my lower lip is a lot bigger than my higher lip. Like, my higher lip is normal, the rest is not. So I'm using my hair, I'm letting it grow out so it covers, and then I use a hat to hide my pan, my eyebrows. Everything is like, I do not look good. I've never in my entire life had anyone telling me I look good. If I look from this side, like this, push forward my jaw, maybe on cam I look a little bit better, but people in person, they see my nose, they see my lips, they see my tooth, they see everything, they see this, they see that I'm not looking that good.
All right, so this is where a lot of virtue signaling in the comment section really came out. In fact, realistically, I would probably say this guy right here, he's about a 3.5 out of 10. I mean, realistically, there are people out there that are slightly less attractive than him, definitely, but he is in that sort of that 3, maybe 4 out of 10 range. I don't know why people feel the need to virtue signal. Like, even if you believe that, society's definition of looks and whatnot is wrong and we objectivize people, granted, can you really say that based on those unfair standards, he's like an 8? I mean, come on. I think he's a little below average. I would say he's slightly below average looking. Like I said, I consider like a 5 to be average, right? 5 to 5.5, that's average. I would probably say that he's about like a 3.5. I would say like a 2 is ugly. I mean, he is saved a little bit by his youth because he's a young guy. It's almost very difficult to be truly ugly when you're in your 20s. And I know that guys in the comments will jump out and say, oh, that's not true, CBP. I'm 25 years old and I'm ugly. But they post their pictures and it's like, no, you're just not good looking. There's a difference. But yeah, all of the things that he talked about himself, all of the physical traits, the jaw, the nose, the loose skin, all of those things are valid. Again, people can virtue signal and say, oh, you're being mean, stop making him feel insecure. But, you go on a dating app, and at a subconscious level, all of those things will result in people swiping left. It's just the reality.
I was a bit overweight. That's where all this comes from, because I was a little bit on the overweight side. So I was a bit heavier, not much heavier, but I was heavier. And let's see, I think the total sum from when I was 15 to 17 was well over 400-500 girls that I wrote with, that I tried to get into a relationship with. And that's not normal girls. I've never gone for the normal attractive girls. I knew from the start, like, they are not for me. They set these standards that are so high. They want attractive guys that are smart and funny and everything. So I set up, like, I tried to write with girls, and I wrote with girls that were overweight, that didn't look so good. Some of them had a big nose like me, some had big lips, some had shorter hair. I even wrote with about, I think it was like three girls that were handicapped.
Now, this is the part where a lot of you guys are going to accuse me of being blue-pilled. But You know, it is what it is. You've got to be very, very careful about assuming that you're unworthy of the most beautiful girl, that you're just not, you know, that because you're not a good-looking Chad, that you just can't have her, you know, she's never going to be interested in you anyway, so why bother? That type of self-limiting mentality is very, very damaging, because I'll tell you a little story just very, very quickly. When I was in high school, I was, for all intensive purposes, a total loser, you know. I didn't get my first girlfriend until I was at university. I had my first lay when I was 15. At a party, but that was kind of a fluke. And then again, when I was 18, right before university, I lucked out with another girl at a party. So my lay count was 2 when I began university. But all in all, I was pretty much a loser up until that point. And then finally at university, I gathered up the kahunas to actually ask a girl that was in my class out. And I couldn't even do it to her face. I had to do it over text message after getting her number. But, you know, she was a shy, average-looking Becky, and she said yes, and we began going out for what would turn out to be almost a year. And even though I was really, really happy to have my first girlfriend, I admitted to myself even back then that she wasn't exactly my first choice. But unfortunately, due to my low self-esteem, I believed that I could only get the average girl, that the pretty cheerleader girl was just out of my league, you know. I believed that to myself. But seeing how good I was at sweet-talking this girlfriend that I had and, you know, keeping her interested in me and just basically, you know, her being more into me than I was into her made me realize, like, maybe I could go for a girl who's like a pure knockout. So after that relationship ended, I approached what would be, I guess you'd say, the love of my life, the next girl that I went after. Obviously, I'm not going to dox her or anything, and you're just going to have to take my word for it. But the next girl that I went out with, who was younger than me, she was, oh my God, I can't even put it into words. She was everything that I'm into, you know. She kind of had that whole like emo thing about her, and she was gorgeous in my eyes, like truly, truly gorgeous in my eyes. And I could not believe that a girl like that would ever go out with me. A year prior to that, I never would have thought that I would even have a chance. But you see, I'd previously had a very kind of self-limiting mentality. And that's what this guy, I think, has kind of made a very big mistake. Not a big mistake, but I think it's kind of a bad thing to go after the girl that you think is unattractive, because you kind of get treated like you treat yourself, if that makes... I know this kind of sounds very blue-pilled, but, you know, okay, there's the ERs of the world, the guys that go after the perfect 10s when they probably shouldn't be. But just be careful of it. You know, you should at least try and go for the 8s, 9s, and 10s before you settle for the 4s. And yeah, I see a lot of you guys making this mistake where you just kind of think, well, you know, there's certain people that are not available to me because I'm not a Chad or whatever. It's just a little bit of a dodgy mindset to get into, so just be aware of it.
When I gave up, I started to care more about writing with people who had it difficult, who were sad, and like who didn't have it easy. And that's when I first met the first girl in my life that wanted to be with me. And I spent 7 years with that girl, and I regret it very much, because that was a girl that treated me so badly and was just using me. She called me ugly. She forced me to walk 5 to 10 meters behind her. She'd never hold my hand. She never kissed me. She never did anything to show appreciation of me. She just simply used me. And it was not a good relationship. She never cared about me. She was always angry, aggressive. And for the first half year, she didn't really want to be in an actual relationship with me. She just wanted fun, I guess, sorta. Except when we went outside, when I was forced to go behind her.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing much you can really say about all this, except to say that it's obvious that, it's obvious that he was lacking in confidence so much to, like, find yourself in this situation. You know, there's never a point that you should get to where you relegate your self-respect for somebody that obviously has no respect for you. I mean, this just goes without saying.
1 month ago, after we broke up, I started to try and date again. And the bombardment of "you are ugly" or "not my type" was so unreal. I can tell you a few things that I've been through. I've met people that are girls that are extremely overweight and don't look well as well, and they tell me, "You're not my type. You're way too ugly," or they make up an excuse like, "Oh, you didn't text me the same day. I can't be free. I can't have you as a contact," and they do anything to get rid of you. And then there was this time when I had a date with a girl, and I had spent lots of money on making a perfect day together. Like I had set up everything perfectly, and I went on the subway over an hour, and I stood on the train station, and I looked for her for 2 hours before I was like, okay, she gave up. And then I went home, and then she wrote that when she saw me, I was so ugly, she didn't have the encouragement to talk to me. And now I made an algorithm for a site that's like Tinder, but it's called Bado. It's like Tinder pretty much, where I automatically love every person, no matter who. It's like a special algorithm for a program that I made, so that I click a button and it likes 600 people every day, which is the limit. And I've done that for over 10 days, so I know easily it's over 6,000 people that I have liked on that side, like and wants to write with. No one, not a single one has responded. Not a single one, even though I put on the best photos I can find. Not a single soul wants to reply or write or give a person like me a chance.
You know, I'm actually not really buying that, to be honest. I think something's fishy about that story. Like, I've been on Badu. It's kind of like the Wild West. It's a very unregulated site. Like, there's a lot of ladyboys on there who log in under female profiles, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem logical to me. I have trouble believing that story. Like, I genuinely suspect that maybe Badu's algorithm picked up on his bot and they, like, locked him out or something. It just doesn't seem right to me.
There are people that will look past your appearance, and that's sorta right. There are people out there who will look past how you look and be with you even if you're unattractive. And it doesn't even matter to what degree of unattractive you are, because there will be girls that will not really care. The problem is finding them.
Man, that's so true. You know, one of the dumbest cliches you often hear is there's somebody for everybody. It's like, well, you know, what if you meet that perfect someone that's for you and they've already been in a relationship with somebody else for 7 years now and counting? Like, how do you know they're even going to be available when you meet them?
This is a guy problem. And if you're a guy, if you don't look good, get surgery. Only way. Get surgery. If you have the possibility, lose some weight or get muscles. That's about it.
You know, this is kind of a controversial topic because I got plastic surgery on my nose to get it straightened after it got broken, and I had some of the size taken away. And it definitely made me look better. It gave me a lot of my self-confidence back. Absolutely 100% happy I did it. However, there's a lot of guys on the internet who are aware that looks are important, but they obviously have these huge psychological issues, but they prioritize the surgery. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, but surgery isn't going to help you. That's why, you know, I refuse to make videos answering people's questions like, you know, should this person get surgery? You know, because sometimes people email me like, you know, should I get a nose job? Do I need surgery on this or that? And, you know, all I can do is objectively say, well, you know, that is a flaw or that does make you look worse. But should you get the surgery? That's a whole nother ball game because it depends on so many different factors.
So get surgery if you can. I'm repeating myself because I'm running out of things to say. And this is probably the only video I can ever do right now. If by any chance you guys will like this, whoever watches it, if even anyone watches it, I don't know. Hope it goes better for you. I hope you can sorta relate to me and that you're in a similar situation. And I'm gonna take another drink. So, because that's the only thing. And also, no, I'm not overweight. to such a extent. I'm pretty thin, so like don't get the feeling like, oh, you just need to lose some weight. No, I don't. Trust me. I definitely don't really need to lose weight. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Yep. Bye.
This guy right here says, grow a beard, which A, is not necessarily possible. Like, I'm 34, and I can grow like a scratchy beard, but not like a full beard. You know, the idea that all men can grow thick, thick, luscious beards, not the case, unfortunately. It's a huge cope, this idea that men automatically become better looking with beards. I know that you've got like that one study that shows that 10-day-old stubble looks better. But that was presumably done on a guy who's already attractive, so it became a looks multiplier. And second of all, 10-day stubble is not what these beard freaks are always promoting. They're promoting like the lumberjack beard, this whole kind of beard bro culture that exists on the internet. And here's a big thing, okay? Here's a big thing. Some men cannot gain muscle. They just can't gain muscle. It's not that they're hard gainers. They are exercise non-responders. And this has been scientifically proven in multiple studies that show that some men, at least based on those studies, do not respond to weight training. They don't get a hypertrophy response to weight training. Like a few weeks ago, I was debating this dating coach who's like, oh, you just need to get 250 grams of protein, which is provably false. You don't. You need about, I forget what it is, but it's like 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight. But, you're pretty much safe as long as you get a pound of protein per pound of body weight. So, actually, no, I didn't say that right. Let me say that again. You need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day in order to gain as much muscle as you're ever going to gain with good training based on your individual genetics. But you actually need less than that. 1 gram of protein is actually the high end. If I weigh 170 pounds, I don't need 250 grams of protein a day to gain muscle. That's just absolute pseudoscience. But you can weigh 170 pounds and get 1,000 grams of protein a day, and you can do perfect training at a calorie surplus, and all you will gain is fat if you're an exercise non-responder. So this is just cope. Well, it's not cope, but you see, you don't hear about these outliers. You don't hear about these anomalies. All you hear is like the supplement industry narrative. And finally, he needs a better haircut. Well, maybe he could use a haircut, and maybe he could use with a little bit of gym maxing and all that good stuff. But it's a very kind of like, to watch a video where a guy pours his heart out for 20 minutes and then say, oh, you just need to do these 3 simple things. You'll be fine. It's pretty superficial. This other person says that confidence plays a huge role in looking and feeling attractive. Yeah, maybe feeling attractive, but looking attractive only a little bit. Now, being confident is awesome, and you should be confident. What I mean is, if you take 2 guys, and both of them are, say, a 6 out of 10, right? One of them is confident, and the other one is not confident. The one that gets the most amount of girls will be the confident one, obviously. But, can being a 2 out of 10 be made up for with confidence? No. I could sit here for hour upon hour debunking these comments, but I think I'm going to wrap it up right here. The only other thing I will say is that there's so many people saying, oh, you're not ugly, you look fine. But by leaving all these comments saying that he looks fine, all these people are doing is making the people who go searching for this video even more isolated, because then somebody who feels like they're genuinely ugly will come to this comment section, read all the comments from people saying, oh, he looks fine. And in the eyes of the genuinely lost ugly man or girl, they now feel isolated because it's like, oh, well, I guess I can't relate to this person because everyone says he's good looking. Why not just accept the fact that, yeah, he is a sub-5 male and talk about the issue rather than deflecting? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of other video series that I'm obviously still doing, so please don't, nag me about when I'm going to get to a particular video that I said I was going to do like a part 2 of. I'll be doing all of my series again at some point. Like, I'll be continuing with the movie series. I'll be doing the looks series again. All of my different video ideas that I've done, like a part one of. I'll be doing more channel reviews. All of it will be coming. Just give me time, okay? Cheers.